Okay, JC, I'm not going to keep you any longer. Let's go ahead. There's a couple things that I wanted to go over on this broker Q&A call today, of some things that I have seen that I want to make sure that everybody is aware of. So first of all, on the new uh, contract revisions that came out in June, um, the F-259, which is the exhibit where we're asking the seller to pay our compensation, they have flipped A and B. So please be aware of that. It used to be A was the listing agent sharing their compensation with the buyer's agent, and B was the seller was paying the buyer's broker directly. That has now been changed. A is the seller paying the buyer broker directly, and B is the listing agent sharing their compensation with the buyer broker. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. And I'm brand new, so it doesn't affect me.
Just wanted you to be aware of that. And then secondly, I have seen after reviewing files that a lot of agents on their buyer broker agreement are putting zero as compensation, and then they're asking and inserting the F-259 in their offer for the seller to pay them a compensation, and we can't do that. The whole purpose of this NAR settlement was for clear cooperation, and so if you put zero in and the buyer approves that, unless you amend that document, you cannot ask the seller to pay you anything because the buyer has agreed and signed the document that says you're not going to be paid anything. And so that's not good practice. If you're talking to a buyer and they are hesitant about agreeing to pay your fee, you've got to explain to them this whole situation, because we can't put zero in and then go back and ask the seller to pay us if the buyer hasn't agreed to that. So that would have to be corrected if the buyer was in agreement to pay or to allow the seller to pay you. You could amend the buyer brokerage agreement to reflect and have the buyer sign it. But what if you're working with a contrary buyer and they're like, no, we agreed that you weren't going to get paid and I'm not signing an amendment? Then guess what? You're working for free.
Okay.
So please just be aware of that as well. You need to put a number in there. Whatever it is you charge is what I would put in there. And it can always be amended if it needs to be amended.
All right.
All right. Do you have any questions for me, JC?
No, I do not.
All right. Well, it doesn't look like anybody else is joining us today, so I will let you go. I'll stay on the call in case somebody does pop in, but for now, that's all I've got.